Игра The Raven ждет нашего прохождения, поэтому мы незамедлительно будем продолжать. Вы находитесь на 11 части прохождения этого квеста. Меня зовут Виртуазила, я рад вас приветствовать. И мы загружаемся с того же места, где и завершили, с каюты баронессы. Я в предыдущей части показывал все, что нам нужно осмотреть, чтобы получить ачивмент. Остается только кровавое пятно, которое нужно взять на анализ, однако это мы сможем сделать позже. Теперь идем к инспектору Леграм, чтобы рассказать ему все, что мы выяснили. Вообще, играя в этот квест, получаешь какие-то светлые, приятные эмоции. Очень добрая такая игра. Она прям вписывается в благородный образ вот этого добряка констебеля, которым мы играем. Так, ну давайте пойдем к Леграну. Попробуем.
Доктор Гебб?
Нет. Тогда идем сюда.
Come in. Constable?
И начнем разговор. Поделимся нашими результатами по порядочку. Начнем с перьев.
I found feathers in the Baroness's cabin.
Really?
Yes, they were in a vase next to the door.
I hope this is leading up to some information that justifies this interruption.
Some of the feathers are singed.
Show me. Well, you may have something here.
I think that someone fired a shot through a pillow or something like that, and the muzzle flash scorched the down.
Yes, possible. Try to find the pillow and we'll take it from there.
I took a closer look at the blood spot from the Baroness's bed.
Yes, what's wrong with it?
It looks odd.
Odd?
I think it should be darker.
I understand. The iron in blood causes it to darken the longer it's exposed to the air.
Right, and...
We don't have time to waste. Dr. Gebhardt examined the body thoroughly. He would have noticed if anything was wrong.
And you trust Dr. Gebhardt completely?
I trust everyone as much as is advisable. There will be a complete autopsy in Cairo. Until then, the doctor is one of the few people on board who is not a suspect. You, him, the stowaway, Constable Oliver, and I all have alibis.
There are still enough suspects left. I was able to make the traces of a note on the Baroness's notepad legible. She wrote that a murderer is on board and that she'll unmask him. She asks the recipient to meet her in the saloon at 10 p.m. If we can find the recipient.
I was the recipient.
Monsieur?
When I entered my cabin last night, I found a message on the floor. Someone must have slipped it under the door.
Why didn't you say anything about it?
I didn't know that I was obliged to.
We are partners.
Not really. You're helping me out until we reach Cairo, because you somehow managed to remain on board.
But...
I'll choose when and with whom I share information. You can accept that and continue assisting me, or you can spend the rest of the journey on a deck chair thinking about missed opportunities.
And none of this is by any chance related to the fact that the message doesn't suit your Raven theory. The Baroness knew the murderer from the past, and he was already a murderer when he boarded the ship. The Raven was always just a thief, not a murderer.
Careful, Constable. Are you accusing me of perverting the facts?
Of course not, monsieur.
Then let's get back to work. Good day, Constable.
I'll be in touch if I uncover more clues.
Very well.
Мне кажется, пора брать все в свои руки. С ним не получится сработаться. Оно прям как баран, и давно стало это понять уже.
I better not bother him until I have something... Doc, something tell.
Так что давайте попробуем прорваться к пленнику, который в грузовом отсеке.
The death.
Пойдем через ресторан, чтобы посмотреть, нельзя ли о чем-то поговорить с капитаном и с писательницей.
I believe I shouldn't bother. Her mind is...
В игре доступен быстрый переход между локациями, двойной щелчок, и нам не нужно ждать, пока Зельнер своей неспешной, уже престарелой походкой преодолеет нужное расстояние. Это удобно.
He won't let me talk to our young friend. He respects Legrand far too much to disobey his orders. If I want to get...
Так, ну тут, похоже, ничего не изменилось, друзья. Кроме того, что наш взгляд снова радует бездонная голубая лазурь Средиземного моря. А что у нас в дневнике? Так, ну чтобы провести исследование крови, нам необходимы подручные инструменты. Ватные палочки или какие-то тампоны. Где это можно раздобыть?
I don't care what Legrand and Dr. Gebhardt say. The blood spot looks strange, and I'd like to take a sample. Maybe I'll get the chance to analyze it. I don't care. Maybe I'll...
Хорошо. Он
There may be
по-прежнему
something else.
говорит, что пятно нужно осмотреть, но ему нужен инструмент. Где мы можем взять такой инструмент? Наверное, нужно попробовать поговорить
The
с
death.
кем-то еще на корабле. И начнем с констебеля Оливера. Пройдем, поговорим со всеми.
If I want to...
Так. Так. Смотрели все. Теперь сходим сюда. Здесь ничего, друзья. Где же может быть этот инструмент? Ну, может быть, что-то есть. Подручные средства какие-то найдем в ресторане там. Еще раз осмотрим все, что есть на столах. Хорошо бы заглянуть в комнату доктора. Там наверняка есть необходимые инструменты. Но почему-то наш герой не хочет этого делать.
Her mind.
Раз, два, три.
Dr. Gebhardt, something tells...
Что-то было? Или это мне показалось?
I bet... That is Legrand's cabin. That is Legrand's cabin. I guess our stowaway now. Whatever. I guess our stow...
Странно, что же нам сейчас
Dr.
нужно делать?
Gebhardt, look, something tells...
Так, я чуть совсем запутался. Нужно, друзья, организоваться и найти решение, как нам двинуться дальше. Что-то мы не сделали.
The Baroness's butler looks like he didn't get much sleep.
Может быть, с кем-то не поговорили? Да, вроде бы все здесь. Красивая пристройка такая, которой не было, какой-то стеклянной крыши. Хорошо, они переоборудовали лайнер. Ну ладно, снова в комнату к баронессе. Может, в самой комнате и найдем нужные нам вещи. Может быть, глоток кофе поможет мне.
Why were the down feathers tossed in the vase? Or is there anything else in there? What? There may be... Could work. There's something in there. Ah.
Кофе сразу активизирует мои способности
Someone
мыслительные.
stuffed this in the vase.
Смотрите, глоточек буквально, и мы разобрались, что
Looks
делать
like it's
дальше.
been used to muffle a gunshot. If this isn't an important discovery, I don't know what is. Legrand,
Отлично.
here I come.
Нужно идти к Леграну. Прожженная наволочка.
What a discovery. This pillow was obviously used to muffle a shot. Legrand, here I come.
Небо затянуло тучами, и, быть может, пойдет проливной летний ливень. Я обожаю ливни. Если будет так, то даже откроем окно, чтобы шум дождя заходил в нашу комнату и делал прохождение еще более уютным. Ну ладно, идем к Леграну.
A singed pillowcase is proof that there must have been a second gunshot.
О, наш герой очень спешил. Увидели, как он, ускорив шаг, спешил к нему. Что он там стимуляторы принимает?
Can't you knock?
I didn't realize. I'm really...
I'm not getting anywhere. I'm going to question each passenger individually. Anyone without an airtight alibi will be checked for gunshot residue.
But, Inspector,
People trip up when you put pressure on them, Constable Zellner. The Raven is nervous. He's changed his methodology and become a murderer. I'll see it in his eyes. After you.
But Inspector Legrand...
Он даже не захотел нас слушать.
We have no proof that the Raven and the murderer are the same person. Quite the opposite. The Baroness's message hints at the fact that she knew the murderer and that he'd killed before.
You may not know it, but I do. I will catch him, with or without your help.
I don't believe it. What's gotten into him? Oh, well. It makes no sense to tell him about my theories if his opinion is already set. I need evidence. Or better yet, the murderer. I also need his lab if I'm going to get anywhere. I need to get in there somehow. And I really need to talk to the stowaway. He may have information, and the inspector will just ignore him, since he's too young to be the Raven.
Заметили, как констебль как будто отряхнул с себя пыль вот, после разговора с Леграном, потому что даже пыль, упавшая на него с этого бесполезного человека, была не очень приятной. Итак, мы беремся за дело самостоятельно. Давайте посмотрим на двери в каюту Леграна.
Legrand locked the door.
Красивый, очень красивый корабль.
The lock isn't especially secure. If I had a wire or something like that, I could probably pick it. I need something to open the lock. The key would be best, but a wire would do. I need something to open the lock.
Как и все, собственно, в европейских странах. А ведь и у нас все могло быть так, и даже лучше. Просто нужно быть усердным в этом, друзья.
And until I have good reason, I won't wake him up. Something tells me that he wouldn't be amused. Dr.
Так, ну, если наш герой говорил про допрос безбилетника, это прямой намек, что нам нужно идти туда. Поэтому идем туда.
What do you want?
Inspector Legrand is questioning the first of the passengers in the saloon.
And?
It will be hours before he gets to the stowaway.
And?
We'll save time if I question him.
We'd also save time if you stopped asking me the same things over and over again. I will not let you in. What time is it, by the way?
Got an appointment?
No, but I'm hungry.
Go and get yourself something. I'll mind the door in the meantime.
Aha. You could bring me something, though.
So, what do you want to eat?
Oh, anything. An apple or something like that.
Leave it with me.
Yeah, thanks.
Все еще голоден.
That's not a rhetorical question. Did you get me something to eat?
Still working on it.
Well, do let me know once you've solved that difficult problem. Well...
It may not seem like it, but Constable Oliver is actually a very effective watchman. The bottle... No.
Так, а здесь теперь на палубе Мэтт, а еще его мама и профессор.
Matt is keeping himself busy with that strange game. He seems to be okay again. But I think he'd be running around all over the place if he'd really come to terms with what happened on the train.
Мы можем с ним поговорить, но сперва давайте поговорим с его мамой и профессором. Похоже, она снискала его благосклонность, но мы немножко вмешаемся.
Miss Miller and the professor are talking intensely. She seems pretty relaxed, by her standards. Miss... Good morning, Miss Miller. Professor Lucien?
Constable Zellner, how are you? I heard you passed out last night.
Well, not quite. I was poisoned.
Oh.
Совсем суккуб, она меня пугает, ребят. Это какая-то Абигайль из Murdered. Или была еще суккуб в Героях 5. Буду проходить Героев 5. Будете смотреть, вспомните.
Who do you mean by that wretch?
That stowaway. That new raven.
The young man can't be the murderer. Constable Oliver had already apprehended him when the shot was fired.
You mean...
Whoever killed the Baroness is still on the loose.
I think I should take my leave. I'd like to rest for a while.
One last question, Professor.
Похоже... мы расстроим маму Мэтта тем, что мы профессора от нее отогнали, но один вопрос. Давайте спросим про ключ от сейфа.
The safe in Legrand's cabin can only be opened with 3 keys. Am I right?
That's correct. We sent the first to Monsieur Mokhtar of the Egyptian Museum via air freight. I have one, and the inspector has the other.
But it was originally planned that someone else should carry the 3rd key, right?
You are well informed, Constable. Baroness von Trebitz should have had it. But then there were concerns, and for that reason, Inspector Legrand took it himself.
Was that his idea?
Well, yes, you could say that. I want to go back to my cabin. I'll see you later, Mary.
Oh, of course. See you later.
Вряд ли она сейчас захочет с нами говорить.
Miss Miller and the professor. I didn't want to interrupt your conversation with Professor Lucien so abruptly.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
Learning that there's still a burglar on board seemed to frighten him.
He was so relaxed the whole time, and then...
And then the stupid Swiss constable came by and made him anxious.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
No matter. I'm sure he'll calm down and come back soon enough. May I ask you a few questions?
Of course.
Нет, все-таки она адекватно относится, и у нас есть очень много вопросов, которые можем ей задать. Начнем с Мэтта.
How is Matt? He seems happy enough.
After all the commotion, he's already back to his old self again. But I haven't told him about the murder. That would be a bit too much for him.
I think he's made of sterner stuff.
I want to thank you again for what you did on the train. I wouldn't have known...
Everything's fine. Think nothing of it.
Похоже, я думаю, что Мэтт догадывается, что происходит. Он не глупый парень.
How was last night for you?
It was awful. I was having a conversation with Edgar, Professor Lucien, here on the forecastle. Then I wanted to look for the lady and went forward via the side deck. When I passed the Baroness's cabin, I heard a muffled scream.
You heard a scream?
Yes. I thought the Baroness probably had a fall. I went to the door and listened for a moment. Since I couldn't hear anything, I knocked on the door and asked whether she was all right. There was no answer.
Interesting. And then?
I didn't know what to do, so I tried to open the door. It was locked. I saw the Baroness's butler, Mr. Inch, on the forecastle. I thought he might have the key and went back. On the way, the bobby crossed my path, and then Edgar, who wanted to check the safe. I explained the situation to him, and then the alarm went off.
Интересно.
How did the scream sound?
It was a short... outcry. Very frightened, as if someone had been startled.
Was it a woman's voice?
Yes, the voice was high.
So it could have been a scream from the Baroness. Possibly because she discovered someone in her cabin.
Possibly.
That person might have threatened her with a weapon, so that she wouldn't scream for help.
Oh, God.
He waited until the coast was clear.
Oh, please, stop it, Mr. Zellner.
The Baroness's butler said that he was on the forecastle as well?
Yes, he was standing on the other side of the deck smoking a cigarette.
Was he on the forecastle the whole time?
I'm not sure. He was there, and later he was on the side deck with us. Oh, yes, he looked after you while you were unconscious. He unbuttoned your collar and held your head while the doctor checked you.
But you can't say for certain whether he came from the forecastle with you and Professor Lucien, or afterwards.
Well, no. But where else could he have come from?
Did you report that to Inspector Legrand?
Yes, last night. He was very interested and took a lot of notes. But I wanted to look for Lady Westmacott, and he let me go without further delay. He said that he'd take down my full statement today.
I understand.
Do you think the man from the train also killed the Baroness, Constable Zellner?
I don't know yet.
It's horrible. Explosions, thieves, murderers. This isn't the right place for a lady and a little boy.
You and Professor Lucien seem to be having a lively conversation.
Oh, yes. He's an expert in ancient Egyptian art and preeminent in hieroglyphic research. He's the head of the Egyptian department in the British Museum, you know. And he's going to open an exhibition at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
Right. For the eye.
They had planned on exhibiting both jewels together for the first time in decades, but that's not going to happen now, sadly. I think it's quite upsetting for him.
We're working hard to ensure that at least one eye will be on display.
I know. I'll ask Lady Westmacott if she'd like to participate in the opening of the exhibition. I think it would be good for her.
And Professor Lucien will surely offer you a private tour. You're American, aren't you?
That's correct.
And you moved to England because of the job?
I lived in England before. During the Second World War, I volunteered. I worked in a pharmacy on a US base north of London.
In a pharmacy? Interesting.
Well, it was the war and everyone was sent where they could help best.
Please, go on, Mrs. Miller.
After the war, I studied music in London. I met my husband there. We married and went back to the States together.
He was also American?
No, English. But he said he had problems with his family and he wanted to be as far from them as possible.
And you gave up your studies for him?
Well, yes, I did.
Life as a single mother couldn't have been easy.
It was pretty tough then. I worked from morning till night and it was still only enough for the bare necessities. And I couldn't give Matt all the attention he needed.
And then Lady Westmacott entered your life.
It was like an angel appeared to me. She must have offered me the position out of pity. I had no experience as a carer. She made me a generous offer. I couldn't believe it. And she really adores Matt. She's offered him a good education, and now he has every opportunity in life.
An almost unbelievable story.
I'm still afraid that it's a dream and that I'll wake up one day.
Очень благородная леди Уэстмакот. Побольше бы таких людей. Продолжим наш интересный разговор с матерью Мэтта, который все же состоялся и оказался даже весьма содержательнее и интереснее, чем я предполагал. Так что продолжим.
How does it feel to work for such a world-famous person?
The work is very interesting and varied, and it pays well too.
You are very lucky that the lady offered the position to you.
I just hope she won't change her mind one day. What would become of Matt's education then? I really make an effort to measure up to Lady Westmacott's expectations, but sometimes I feel like I fall short.
Lady Westmacott couldn't ask for a better companion.
I'm saving up as much money as I can all the same. I'd do anything so that Matt doesn't have to give up his new life.
Поэтому раскаиваюсь и беру свои слова обратно, что она расстроится из-за того, что профессор благодаря нашему присутствию ушел. Так, продолжим диалог. Убийство инспектора Барту.
Lady Westmacott dropped a hint on the train that she killed her hero partout. What did she mean by that?
Oh, she must have meant the manuscript.
Manuscript?
She always takes it with her. It's an unpublished Partu novel. I once asked her why she never published it. She said that according to her will, the novel's only to be published after her death.
And in it, Partu will be killed?
Maybe. I've never read it. No one has. You'd better ask her yourself.
If you worked in a pharmacy, you would certainly know something about medicines and poisons.
Everything is a potential poison, Constable. It depends on the dose.
Have you ever heard of chloral hydrate?
It's a tranquilizer, isn't it?
I'm asking you.
Lady Westmacott also asked questions like that, for her last novel. But since I've never wanted to kill anyone, I never bothered with things like strychnine and arsenic and all that. I could recommend something for a headache, sore throat, or rash.
That's kind of you, but there's really no need. I'll be seeing you, Miss Miller.
Constable?
Maybe Miss Miller has found something of a soulmate in the archaeologist. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee that the two of them will end up together. People with low self-esteem tend to sabotage their own happiness.
Это верно.
I don't know what else to ask her at the moment.
Заниженная самооценка часто может быть главным руинящим фактором в любом вашем деле. Не позволяйте этому никогда завладеть вами, друзья. Никакие препятствия к достижению вашего успеха не могут быть так страшны, как заниженная самооценка и неуверенность в своих силах. Нет, это вовсе не значит, что нужно быть наглым, самонадеянным, самоуверенным самодуром. Я не об этом. Я про то, что нужно трезво оценивать свои способности, работать над собой и твердо идти к намеченной цели. Помните, что на ошибках можно учиться и становиться лучше, а не отчаиваться и опускать руки. Так, значит, это лирическое отступление маленькое.
I have to talk if I want to get into the car. And what about the other gunshot? Could the second missing bullet...
А нам нужно принести еду Оливеру. Я просто нутром чую, что разговор с Мэттом приведет к тому, что нужно будет с ним играть в эту игру, поэтому сначала пойду поищу что-нибудь съедобного для Оливера. Подмешать туда нужно ему какого-нибудь слабительного, чтобы он поспешил в уборную. А мы учтиво примем его пост. По его фигуре видно, что... Так.
Mr. Kreitzer, come on, you have to give me a bit more. You're the only one who was on the train and who has no alibi for last night.
As I said, I was in my cabin.
Are you sure that it was your cabin and not the Baroness's?
Legrand will question the guests one after another. But if he doesn't get the answers that he wants to hear, it could become unpleasant for them.
Легранд давит на людей, как он и говорил. Если надавить, то, возможно, получится результат. Так вот, учитывая фигуру Оливера, они меня оборвали, несложно сделать вывод, что он может предпочесть свой живот какому-то ответственному заданию. Съешь что-нибудь.
Whatever Constable Oliver wants, he's getting ham and eggs. And just a pinch of salt for our friendly constable.
Побольше соли.
Good.
Да погодите, я еще не поговорил с Леграном.
Constable Oliver. Huh? Ham and eggs, piping hot.
Oh, I shouldn't really.
I don't see anyone here who'd rebuke you. It was a hard night.
Yeah, true. Oh, delicious. Just enough salt. Oh, that was good of you. Cheers.
You don't expect me to wash your dirty dishes as well, do you?
Of course not, Majesty. Oh, that was a proper meal and no mistake.
Constable Oliver is drinking the water he brought along. Without it, he'd get very thirsty. The constable is quenching his thirst with a bottle of water. You'll have a problem when it's empty, but I can't wait that long. The constable...
Ну что же, теперь можем вернуться и попробовать поговорить со скрипачом, на которого так давит Легран. Но, как я уже говорил, судя по его тщедушному виду, вряд ли он смог бы тут кого-то убить. Давайте еще посмотрим. Тут можно посмотреть теперь на кофе.
Excellent. That's just what I needed.
Кофе — это напиток, за который просто я готов отдать полцарства.
Coffee is not bad at all, but 1 cup is enough.
Вот так, тут просто можно попить кофе, не знаю, как это влияет это на игровой процесс или нет. Однако в прохождении на 100% вы узнаете все, что можно сделать в этой игре. А нам самое время отправиться далее. Попробуем поговорить с леди Вестмакот.
Lady Westmacott.
Наверное, разговор будет о маме Мэтта. Да, и вообще есть еще много нового. Давайте начнем диалог, ведь эта игра обладает ими в большом количестве, друзья. И что еще больше делает ее просмотр приятным.
Did Miss Miller cope with all the excitement?
I think so. But what happened on the train was quite a shock for her. She wouldn't be able to go on if something happened to Matthew.
She's worried about him.
He's all she has. It breaks her heart that he lives at a boarding school and can't always be with her. But she sets her wishes and needs aside so that he can get a good education. That's her way.
Отец.
Where's Matthew's father?
Gone. Run off. Ran away from his problems again. He drank a lot. More and more after each setback. It's better for both of them this way.
He left her.
She couldn't have borne it. She loved him and wanted to stick by him. She fell out with her family over him. They couldn't understand her. And when he left her, the ground opened up beneath her feet. For 2 weeks, she was as good as dead. If she didn't have Matthew, she'd be dead.
You seem to know a lot about it. I mean, about the time before Miss Miller began working for you.
I have my reasons.
And Matthew, do you care as deeply about the children of your other employees?
If you fail with your own child, you hope to do better with others, Constable.
And the idea to send Matt to a boarding school...
was mine. Matthew idolized his father and blamed his mother for the fact that he wasn't around anymore. I was afraid the situation would escalate if he had to live on a country estate alone with his mother and some old people. I think I was right. He quickly made friends at boarding school. He's popular, well-liked, a real athlete according to his teachers. And his relationship with his mother has improved as well. He's headed in the right direction.
Miss Miller told me that you have a valuable manuscript with you.
That is correct.
An unpublished Part 2 novel. The manuscript must be worth a fortune.
Oh, it's not just any Part 2 novel. I wrote it 20 years ago, but it will only be published after my death. It's Part 2's last case. Maurice Part 2 dies.
You're going to kill him off?
I already have. And I enjoyed it.
Madam.
I was so sick of writing one Part 2 novel after another. I was keen to stick a knife in his guts. And so, 20 years ago, I did. Of course, I didn't want to disappoint my fans. So I let him solve case after case. But at least I was certain that he'd never escape me. That in the end, I would get him.
I understand. Let's just hope that this novel remains unpublished for many more years.
Допрос.
How is the questioning going?
Are you implying that I'm an eavesdropper? The inspector is placing a lot of pressure on our dear Mr. Kreutzer. He's the only one who was on the train and who doesn't have an alibi for last night.
Perhaps. But him? A murderer?
I know people like him. He doesn't have enough backbone to kill someone in cold blood and
Я
remain so
думаю, так же.
calm. He'd turn it into a drama and then a farce, drink himself insensible and then, railing at fate, pitch himself into the sea. Forget him. Legrand is wasting his time. Mr. Kreutzer just happens to be a perfect fit for the inspector's image of the Raven.
Athletic, cultured, moves among the rich and famous?
I'll eat his violin if he's the Raven or the murderer.
I have to be going, Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
Так приятно, когда твои мысли совпадают с мыслями героев.
Lady Westmacott, but I shouldn't bother her until I have some. Her...
Так, были записи в дневнике, и так как тут все совершенно не структурировано, непонятно по какому алгоритму работает, то я снова пролистаю все с самого начала в надежде увидеть что-то новенькое. А если я это пропущу, вам всегда можно будет нажать стоп на YouTube и прочитать новую запись на одной из страниц. Я уличил Леграна в том, как он вводил себе что-то, какой-то стимулятор. Именно тем можно объясняться, какой кошмар его колебаний настроения. Так, это все понятно. Профессора Люсьена заинтересовала мисс Миллер. Даже его нервы, кажется, успокоились. Либо так только казалось, потому что когда я ему сказал, что вор и убийца все еще на борту, тогда он быстро попрощался и ушел в каюту. Помните закрытое купе? Помните улики? Все. Надписи исчезли безвозвратно. Но почему? Меня не лечит время от их пропажи. Леди Уэстмакот действительно заботится о мисс Миллер, а особенно о Мэтте. Она также знает удивительно много об их жизни. Я не думаю, что она проявляет такой интерес ко всем своим работникам. Вот этой записи, по-моему, не было. По словам капитана, несколько человек пили из одной бутылки. То, что снотворные средства должны были быть не в бутылке, только в рюмке. Нет, по-моему, было. По-моему, все-таки читал. Капитан Деконти говорит, что он дал мне рюмку доктора Гепхарта. Возможно, настоящей целью был не я, а доктор. Друзья, какой-то... Они так похожи, эти записи. Вот это точно не было. В каюте баронессы я нашел обожженную подушку. Выглядит, как будто кто-то использовал ее как глушитель выстрела. Убийца эффективно спрятал ее, потому что не хотел попасть в руки полиции. В этой истории очень странно, что мы все слышали выстрел. Нам нужно поговорить с безбилетником, провести исследование струи крови, и это вот по-прежнему два основных задания. Ну что ж, посмотрим, что тут происходит в этом допросе.
Legrand is absorbed in the interrogation. He still seems pretty annoyed. The violinist seems to be bearing the brunt of it. Legrand will attend to the interrogations, and I'll handle the investigation. I won't talk to him again until I'm ready to present the murderer.
Вот это просто мудрое решение умудренного жизнью человека, прожитой жизнью человека.
Legrand will attend to the interrogation.
Пускай Легранд занимается допросом, а мы действительно займемся расследованием. Потому что мы заинтересованы в том, чтобы распутать дело и докопаться до истины, а не в том, чтобы сохранять свой пафос и какую-то напускную важность, как это делает Легран. Так, теперь можно пойти и поговорить с Мэттом.
The death.
Так и хочется на время остановиться и понаслаждаться этим слегка волнующимся Средиземным морем. Вот, я аж замечтался. Поэтому остановлюсь и полюбуюсь. При этом сохранюсь, друзья, и еще попрощаюсь с вами ненадолго. Подчеркну немного вдохновения из этой картины, чтобы в следующей части продолжать проходить для вас игру The Raven Legacy of a Master Thief на 100%.